Yo, what's good? A continuation of some of these Dragon Ball segments that I'm dealing with currently. And this is a subject slash debate conversation that's been going on for years now, honestly, in the Dragon Ball community, especially on YouTube. And it was dealt with months ago. I think, Qualman, I think Ginkdom 101 had something to say about that. Probably, what's my dude's name? Oh, Black and Fist. Some of the other cats, the major cats. But it's like people want to ignore evidence and facts for opinions, as they like to call it. Their personal preference, what they like, rather than what the facts speak for themselves. And in all due respect, because I do respect Kwame, I'm mad follow, under Unreal Entertainment Game. I forget if he's spoken on this subject. Geekdom, all them cats, whoever they might be, and I'm not trying to throw any under the bus. But if anyone holds the opinion, as they like to call them, I go by views and viewpoints. I don't deal in opinions, okay? I deal with the logic, reason, facts, and evidence of the matter. And I go from there. I must disagree with the opinion that Super Saiyan, there are too many Super Saiyan transformations. Oh my goodness. No. Just factually just inaccurate. Not only is it factually inaccurate, it's asinine. It goes against the very fabric of Dragon Ball. Okay? Why do I say that? For three reasons. Before I begin all the reasons as to why it is inaccurate, there are three reasons why it goes against the fabric of Dragon Ball. Number one, the whole purpose, not the whole purpose, but one of the major purposes of Son Goku is to show the evolution of a character. The evolution of who he is as a fighter. And Super Saiyan, as well as ki control, ki powering up, has been essential throughout the entire series. We've had multiple times where characters powered up with ki. This is since the beginning. Since we knew about ki in Dragon, we still don't even get a full explanation of ki. But the introduction of God ki is a different type of ki. Understand that. Ki control. Of course, as they develop, they get older. Of course, as they get more powerful, new modifications are going to happen to them. It makes perfect logical sense. Point number two, not only is it the evolution of the character, it's the very fact of we don't know the limits of ki. When you don't know the limits of ki, as well as we don't know the limits of the Saiyans are potential. They're potential if you give them enough time and training, and the right kind of training, as well as control of their emotions, you get more potent states. This is who the Saiyans are. They are a warrior race. That is their biological essence. They are superior biologically when it comes to warfare, when it comes to combat. That's how they are. That's how nature, Mother Nature, has engineered them. Biochemistry. That's what they are. They're warriors. They are a warrior race. When it's like, come on, I don't understand how this simple concept of evolution doesn't make sense. Isolation, adaptation. Adaptation. The Saiyans adapt very quickly. The fact that you have Zenkai, a cheat code, a natural cheat code, because that's what it is. Humans don't have that, at least not on a massive scale. And point number three, besides the fact of the evolution, as well as the lack of seeming limits, at least potential limits, you have the point of Super Saiyan. What is Super Saiyan? Super Saiyan is this misunderstanding. They think this is mystical. Apparently a lot of people have this view that Super Saiyan is this mystical form that people transform in. No. Super Saiyan is an amplification of ki, of power, of Super Saiyan. The Super Saiyan state should allow for more powerful when it comes to physical strength, overall combat speed, reaction time, everything you can think of that I break down in death matches. Physical strength, combat speed, techniques, and debatable, destructive capacity / power, reaction time, durability potentially. Durability should spike. Stamina, that's debatable because of the nature of the potential drain of ki if it's not, trained in the Super Saiyan state. So ki actually can descend. That's where we have a problem. And the output, the maximum output of ki is as a more powerful, so it also physically strains. It's part of the reason when you hear the yelling, because it's straining on the body physically. Ki is both physical as well as it is spiritual. You know, you have natural ki, you have spiritual, similar to chakra and Naruto, but a bit different. As well as, you know, agility. Pretty much all factors of the Saiyan's body spikes. Then you have Super Saiyan, you know, if you go by the amplifiers, you have times 50 with Super Saiyan, times 2 with that would make it times 100 base state, then times 4 with Super Saiyan 3 would make it 400 times base state. If you want to throw in Super Saiyan 4, that would be 4,000 times base state. That's not going to have any effect on the person. Nope. Not going to change the person. Nope. It's just going to be the same old. Now, here's to all the reasons why there actually should be more Super Saiyan. Not at Super Saiyan, but Super Saiyan transformations. Let's look back over Super Saiyan and let's look over things. You know, I'm not going to even regard the movies made such a problem of this. Okay, the movies. People want to throw in the movies. See, I deal with Canon, not the movies. That false Super Saiyan with the Vince Lord Slug. It's kind of cool, but get out of here. And then people want the legendary Super Saiyan with Broly. Messed up the whole point. No tail. Wasn't looking anything legendary. You know, so many problems in seemingly growing red. Broly made messed up things. Let's look at the canon forms of Super Saiyan. And yes, I'm going to throw in Super Saiyan 4 in there too, because Akira Toriyama did create that. So I consider it canon. When it comes to Super Saiyan, we saw the base transformation and we saw the effect. Every time there's there seems to be an effect on the environment. Super Saiyan 4 is kind of interesting, but that honestly is arguably the best transformation when it comes to the overall aspect of it. Maybe not the most iconic moment, but arguably the best transformation. Super Saiyan, we see, I mean, the eye color changed from whatever brown, black to green. Hair color change. Just the, you know, a more toned version of a more, you know, physically there's an ascension in the being. Okay? You haven't changed. Super Saiyan 2, that people have a compliment, you know, it's not a it's an advanced version. It's an ascended Super Saiyan, if you will. Okay? That's just 2. Once we hit Super Saiyan 3 with Son Goku, I knew the door was wide open. The Pandora's box was thrown wide open. The potential was seemingly limitless. Seemingly. Doesn't mean that it is, but it's seemingly. You have Super Saiyan 3 with completely different, I mean, long flowing locks with Son Goku. I mean, no eyebrows. He just looks Herculean, almost like a god, if you will. Then now you have Super Saiyan God. Now, Super Saiyan God, okay, that was through a specific ritualistic manner. That was not through inherently the Saiyan himself or herself. That's gotten through a method. So of course it's going to by nature be different. Then you have God Ki with Super Saiyan God Blue, which is gotten completely different from all other methods of Super Saiyan. Then Super Saiyan 4, if you want to consider that, Super Saiyan 4 was not unlike, you know, it's not this rage. It's a complete opposite. It's an internal self. It is the Saiyan. I love it so much because it is the Saiyan accepting himself. It's the Saiyan going internally. Uzaro dealing, and it's looking like a Saiyan. Okay, you look at it's a combination of the Uzaro and Saiyan state. That is only 6 forms. Only 6. Vegeta only had 5. No, Vegeta only has 4. Then if you want Mystic Gohan, Mystic was a completely separate thing altogether. Once again, in all honesty, if you want to go by Vegeta, Vegeta only has 4. Son Goku only has Super Saiyan 3 because he was dead. Because he wouldn't have obtained it most likely naturally. Future Trunks doesn't have it. He only has SSJ2. And we know how they got Super Saiyan God. So in all fairness, we only got 4 states. For one, and 6 for another. How is that too much? When giving one is a specific ritualistic situation, which hasn't been showcased ever again, except if you want to go by the manga. Because in the anime, we have a whole Super Saiyan Blue plus Kaioken. So, it's debatable whether you want to go by there. And Son Goku, he took in the power. It seemed to be a short span. It was a temporary thing. And he took in the power and added that to his Super Saiyan state. What am I not understanding here? Yes, I would love to see a Super Saiyan 5. But again, look how old they are. By the time they get Super Saiyan 4, what, Vegeta is 50s, 60s? Son Goku ain't too far behind. They're in the 50s and the 60s. Okay? And if Son Goku lets, the whole immortality, maybe he attained the Super Saiyan 5. That's going to be who knows how long before. So in an entire lifespan, we're having at most with Son Goku, if we're going to cap it at Super Saiyan 5, because we don't know anymore. Maybe he attained it, maybe he didn't. Maybe some mystical dragon state. Most likely 6 to 7 transformations. One that shouldn't have happened, and another because of a certain ritual. So really he only has 4. How are 4 transformations too much? You look at series with doggone Bleach, and you can say, why are you taking this outside of Dragon Ball? Sir, so that you understand something here. Series with Bleach, how many transformations did Ichigo have? Kurosaki Ichigo. How many transformations has or modes and forms does Monkey D. Luffy currently have? 4. Techniques, modes, forms, 4. Am I missing something? Uzumaki Naruto. You can say why you can go Shonen. You can go other whatever you want to. It makes perfect logical sense as they advance, as they attain new stuff, that they should have something different. They wouldn't have, if they didn't have God Ki, you wouldn't have any of the gods modes. So you're cutting that down to 3 to 4. With most of them, it's only 2. And some of them, it's only 1. So what are we talking about here? Piccolo, keeping it in canon, Piccolo himself, he fused with Nail and he fused with Kami to become, once again, the nameless Namekian. We've seen multiple transformations throughout the Dragon Ball series. I don't understand why this is a problem. When you look at the facts mean that there should be more. And they should keep, as long as they live, and the fact that they keep training, they should of course attain higher states. It doesn't cheapen it. It makes logical sense, and it makes perfect sense from a story writing standpoint. It doesn't allow for the characters to get stale. It doesn't allow for the characters to get predictable. You never know. Then you have with Goku Black, Super Saiyan Rose, Super Saiyan Rose, Super Saiyan God, whatever you want to consider it. Okay. Am I missing something here? This is crazy to me that people limit imagination. Dragon Ball, they want this super simple, thing. But when you have other series that don't have even close to the same power scaling as Dragon Ball, other worlds in the universe that have so many multiple transformations. Dragon Ball shouldn't have that. When we don't even understand completely what the hell Ki is. I'm out of here. I'm done. I expect one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the subject. Some people may consider me dead wrong. Please, buy the facts of the series and otherwise. Present your logic. I would love to see why people think they're I've heard other arguments, and so far the arguments have seeming no validity. It's because people don't like it. It's because they think it just changes the color. No, every Super Saiyan state, except arguably Super Saiyan 2 from Super Saiyan, they don't change. Even though there are distinctions, there aren't a lot, but which makes sense because Super Saiyan 2 really is just an ascended form of Super Saiyan. It's not this whole different thing. When Son Goku did Super Saiyan 3, he took it to another level. It's like, how do I explain this? Okay, finishing up. If you think of Super Saiyan, even though you had a full power Super Saiyan as like just power up Saiyan. Really, if you want to strip it down, that's originally what it was. A power. We see Kaba have it, and Vegeta's like Rage, Super Saiyan. SSJ2 is simply the evolved version. We've seen that with Gohan. We've seen that, the fighting capabilities increased with Son Goku and Vegeta. We've seen that with Future Trunks. It's evolved. They're a different breed. We saw a clear distinction between Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, but it's an evolved. It's a refined version. Now, while they have more control with Super Saiyan, it's still it's a refined version of Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 3 altogether, it's just completely different. Same thing with SSJ4. They're just completely different altogether. We don't even know how Son Goku unlocked Super SSJ3. We don't even know how. It's unnatural. And when it comes to the whole God situation, that's a whole different ball game altogether. We're dealing with different ki, period. A ritual as well as this whole training with God ki. Completely different animal. That's why you have complete differences. They don't even look you saying they look the same, they don't look the same. It ain't just changing the color. They are different fundamentally as well as visually. They're just different. Anyways, that was enough on that one. Alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. Hopefully, I don't have to address this again. I might have to address it or probably, who knows.